Aloha, my friends. This is Billy Wiggly coming at you live from the 9th Island, Las Vegas, Nevada. How are you doing today? Are you staying positive? Good. Remember, PMA, a positive mental attitude, is what we got to have every single day. And the easiest way to do that is by constantly staying focused. Focused on the positives. There's a lot of negatives around us. Don't let them influence you. Let them roll on by. Don't focus on them. Focus on the positives. Like I'm positive, we're going to have to work with some text inside of Excel every once in a while. It's not just numbers. So we're going to need some text functions like this. Check it out. So we've got some text in this worksheet. And what we want to do is we want to combine it. We want to take Mr. Chili Dog Wiggly, and we want to put it all right inside this cell, and we want to do it all the way down. So how do we do that? How do we end up with that? Well, let's check it out. All right, there it is, waiting for us, the text in Excel. So normally, when you're working with text, you use Word. Words belong in Word, and numbers in Excel. However, we end up using words in Excel, and we do use numbers in Word. All of these programs work together really well. The whole Microsoft Office suite is amazing. Amazing. I love it. Not because I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, but because I use it every single day. Tons of apps from Microsoft. And so here we have Microsoft Office, Excel, and we've got some text that we want to work with. And because we have text and Excel knows that we have to work with text, let's go right up here to our Formulas tab, and let's take a look at our function library. Right within our function library, you're going to see that we have some text functions right there. So let's go right ahead and click on that drop down. I'm going to double click on the tab to lock the ribbon in place. Click, click. There it is. I could have also just done Control F1, Control F1, just like that. Shortcuts, tips, and tricks. I'm going to click on the down arrow for the text. And here we begin to see that we've got the concat. That used to be called concatenate. And what the concat does is it concatenates a list or range of text strings. In other words, it joins together text. What do we call a text join? Well, turns out that the concatenate function, if you're still in Office 2016, Excel 2016, and you go in there and you look at your functions, you're going to see concatenate instead of concat. Well, as Excel keeps evolving and improving, we've got the concat, and now we've got the ability to join text using the text join feature. So it just depends how you want to use it. I think that eventually concat is going to go away, and we're going to just end up with text join. So let me show you some examples right here. First, we're going to use the concatenate, because what we're going to do is we want to take the C2, B2, and A2 and combine them into that cell. So we're going to say equals CON, and then there's our concatenate. Every time we click on one of these functions, Excel gives us a quick tooltip to tell us what it does. Now, you can also use your formula builder. That's what I call it. However, it's the insert function tool. So when I click on the insert function tool, it already puts in what? An equal sign in the cell where I want my formula to go. That's why I call it a formula builder. So I'm going to type a brief description of what we want to do. We can say combine text. Go. Join text. Well, look at that. We put join text. We got the concat. We got the concatenate. That's interesting. They're the same thing. Concat and concatenate. Oh, because Excel gives us the ability to still access what they call legacy functions. So even though we don't have it right up there in the list, let's see. Did we have it in the list? Text. No. So it's considered legacy now. So here we go. Once again, click on the insert function tool, the formula builder, join text, go. We find that we've got the concat and the concatenate. Let's use concat. Stay up with the times. Remember, concat and concatenate are the same thing. If you're in an earlier version, I'm in Microsoft 365, which means I always have the latest version. So when you're in Microsoft 365 subscription, you always have the latest version. So we're going to go with concat. And I'm going to press OK. And now the formula builder is saying, hey, how do you want to do this? What is text 1? So let me move this right under here so we can start seeing. Text 1 is going to be Mr. because I want it in that order. And then we begin to see it appear, our result appear right there. We get a preview of it. So we've got text 2. Whoops, excuse me. Let's go right back up here. Concat, it remembers. So the first argument is C2 because that's the order I want them in. Then I click in the next field. The next argument is B2 and the next argument is A2. And when you look at the preview is showing us what it's going to look like, and it's looking a little odd there, like maybe we need some spaces. And in case you're wondering what's the maximum number of text strings that we can combine, it's 254 right here. 254 text strings. So you can have a super long concatenation. So we look at the formula result, and like we noticed, there's no spaces. All right. Well, let's take a quick look over here. I'm going to press OK. And then let's see the result. Boom. We need some spaces, right? So how do we insert spaces in a function? So there's our formula. Let's zoom right in. And when you want to insert anything other than a number, you have to put it in quotation marks. So if I just wanted a number in here, I would just put in a number and then a comma and then keep on moving. That number is an argument and it's going to appear right there. You see that? Numbers, when you put them in a formula, do not need to go inside quotation marks. Everything besides numbers needs to go inside quotation marks, even a space. So if we want to insert a space between C2 and B2, the Mr. space chili dog, we got to insert a space. So quotation, now insert the space, quotation, comma, and then we go to the next argument and we put in a quote, space, quote, comma. Now if you just put quote, quote together, it's a blank. It's not going to put a space, just a blank. So you have to actually insert a space. Now we press enter, and now check it out. Now we could have done this using the formula builder. So let me delete here. Let me open the formula builder again, the insert function tool. There's a concatenate. And then now let's go ahead and watch this. We got the first argument, Mr. And then the next argument, we want it to be a space, right? So we click inside the field for the next argument and then press the space bar. Space. And then that puts in the space. Now watch when I click into the next argument, text 3. Watch what happens. Watch what appears right in there and what appears right in here. And then in the preview, we'll begin to see it building there. So let's go right ahead and insert a space. And that's what we did. Let's back up. Space right there. And then next is chili dog. You see that? And next we want a what? Space. And then the final argument is A2. And now we're talking. Now we got some spaces. Now it's looking good. Now we can just go right ahead and say, okay, we're done. Boom. And then we just double click on the autofill handle and there we have it. Just like that. All right. So now let's take a look at that text join. So remember, when we looked at the insert function tool, we were searching for join text. And then we saw concat, concatenate, and now we got the text join. And the text join concatenates a list or a range of text strings using a delimiter. What's a delimiter? The space could be a delimiter. Comma could be a delimiter. Separating our strings. All right. So watch this. With the text join, we can go right ahead and tell it what we want it to be, the delimiter. We want it to be a space or a comma or whatever we like. And then we're gonna, if there's empty cells, like if there's, instead of A2, B2, and C2, there's A2, and then B2 was empty, and then C2, well, then it just skips the empty cells if we want, ignores them or not. And then we put in our text strings right over there. So let's go right ahead and press OK. And we got the text join right here. So for the arguments for the text join, the delimiter is going to be a space. Click. So we just put in a space just like that. We don't need to type quote space quote because the formula builder, insert function tool, remember I call it the formula builder. I think in Mac they call it the formula builder. So I'm going to put a space for the delimiter because I want a space. Ignore the empty. If you just leave it true, it ignores the empty cells. If you don't put anything there, it just ignores the empty cells. We don't have to do anything here because there's no empty cells. So for text 1, we want Mr. For text 2, chili dog. And for text 3, chili dog was my dog. He was a cool dog. So now we have, when you take a look at the results, we told it, the text join, hey, for our delimiter, we want a space. Go ahead and ignore empty. Doesn't matter because there's no empty one, so we could just leave that blank, no empty cells. If we notice right here, there's no empty cells in this range right there. So this one right here, we can just leave it, ignore it, just leave it like that. And then text 2, text 1 was C2, Mr. Text 2 is chili dog, and text 3 is whatever the text is in A2. So now we can go just right ahead and say okay. Woo-hoo, just like that. And we look at the formula, the text join. There it is. It put in the space for us right there and ignored everything else. So now we double click. And there we have it, my friends. That's how we do the concat and the text join. You decide which one you want to use. I like to say concatenate. However, I like to use a text join better. My friends, I'm inviting you to go to your browser. Just go to your browser and type in myexcel.club. Press enter. And you're going to end up at the Don't Get Mad, Get Skills 7 Steps to Excel Success VIP membership. Tons of goodies involved in this membership. You get a free trial, 3 days free to go in there and check it all out. You're going to have a pivot table course. You're going to get shortcuts, tips, and tricks course. And all of the workshops that I do, well, most of the workshops that I do are included on this. A lot of the paid workshops are included in these Excel workshops course. So you're going to get access to all of these. All these courses are regularly being updated because I'm creating new content every day, just like we live stream it every day. You can see that you've got all of these benefits. Look, even the 15-minute VIP coaching session with a Microsoft certified trainer ready to train you. And just put in your payment info, start your free trial. You got 3 days. After 3 days are up, no big deal. $7 a month. Just like that, my friends. And that is how we can continue the learning. And like I always say, my friends, keep on learning. I love you. And most of all, don't get mad. Get skills. Aloha.